welcome to the EST Hangout.
This is the EST Hangout, and today's guests are...
Hey, very good. I need to put the graphic on there with this one.
Hello.
Very good Monday morning to you. Welcome to the EST Hangout live right here on Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for listening across the Edmonton Sports Talk audio streams at edmontonsportstalk.com. Tune in, iHeartRadio. For those watching on YouTube, listen on podcasts, wherever you get your podcast. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Gazzola with you here on this Monday, alongside a guest who we just told him as we're getting on the air, was asked for a lot last week. Murray McCourt, VIP golfer of the Ranch Golf and Country Club. He is here as we're going to that deadline and things were happening. A lot of people were wondering, well, is today the day Murray's going to jump on? Can we get Murray today?
Yeah.
But Murray's on today, and lots to get to. The Oilers lose to the Hurricanes Friday, beat the Golden Knights last night. Kevin Cooey, unfortunately, falls short.
I know.
So did Brad Jacobs fall short, the two Alberta rinks. This weekend, I think I was mad. I shut it off in like the 8th inning. Canada was losing to Panama in the World Baseball Classic. We won on Saturday, though. But yeah, so we have lots to get to on the show today. NFL news is starting to trickle and come out.
Well, halfway through the show is when legal tampering
Is it 10 a.m.?
starts. 10 a.m. So
Negotiation
we
window.
might be flicking through our phones to give some live drops on who's going where.
How have you been?
Well, I've been okay. I mean, it's starting to get a little busier, actually. I was at a seminar last week, which is why I wasn't able to be here. But, golf season's not that far away. I'm not liking the forecast stuff coming this week.
What the
but,
hell?
Yeah. But yeah, life's getting busier. I actually started another company.
What?
Yeah.
What's going on?
It's posted on online?
Yeah, you're going to start to see a lot.
Did you tell us about
come
this
online.
already?
No, I don't think so. I was keeping it pretty quiet for a while, but
Is it a party bus company?
no, it's
No,
something
that would
might
make
be
sense.
I know
might
it
be
is.
right up your alley, actually. Yeah, it's called Steady for Men.
Oh,
So just go to steadyformen.ca sometime and you'll see what it's all about.
do we get a discount? I'm just kidding.
Come on.
Steady
man.
for Men?
Steadyformen.ca, yeah.
Oh, I thought this was this isn't even what I was thinking you were going to
Oh, you
talk
thought
about.
I thought it was something else.
I thought it was the plant growing company.
Oh, I've been a partner in that for a long time, but I'm not. I'm just a money guy in that. I'm not involved in operations of that at all. Just an investor. So, I think there's 5 or 6 of us that own that indoor farm.
Steady for Men.
Yeah.
Oh,
Essential goods for men. The right details change everything. A twice yearly collection of 5 to 7 essential pieces for men. Oh, is this like one of those boxes that get shipped out?
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen
These
those
are
in the
good.
States a
Yes.
lot, but they're like never here. They're way too expensive here.
And there isn't one in Canada.
Okay.
So there's not one in Canada at all. Like
I did one for a while from the States.
Did
Go
you?
ahead. You
Yeah.
explain it.
Where I've been sitting on this idea for a while, but Jillian Harrison, or Jillian Harris, sorry, that was on The Bachelor and whatnot.
Yeah.
She does one called the Jilly Box, and it's obviously for women, and it is blown the heck up. It is absolutely crazy, and my wife gets it, and it's like Christmas when she gets one of these boxes, and you don't always get them. I mean, they're hard to get and whatnot, but when she gets it, she's so excited, and it's like Christmas when she gets it. And so I've gotten excited with her for it. So when it comes, I can't wait to see what's in the box and what she's getting. And so I was so excited by it that I decided, well, I'm going to find a box for men. And so I can sign up and get one. And there wasn't one in Canada. There's one from GQ magazine in the States that they don't ship to Canada. And it's just more skincare products and stuff.
Yep.
And so my birthday last year, my wife crosses out Jilly Box and puts Murray Box. And she went out and found a bunch of products to put in the box for me. It was the best birthday present I've ever got. And so I've been working on it kind of behind the scenes for a little while now, and it's really going to start launching this week with social media and pushing people to get to the steadyformen.ca and just sign up so when the sales, the first drop's not going to be till December, but the sales will start August 1st. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. It's something that
Followed.
that is like nobody does it in Canada, and it's such an awesome idea, and like it's not obviously not my idea. Jillian Harris does it, and so I steal it for her and going to do it for men across Canada, and we'll see how it goes.
I did one for a few years called the Spreza box, and I just looked to see if they were still going. It looks like they stopped doing stuff in 2023, but it was ties and like socks and accessories. It was really good. I did it for a couple of years, and then it started getting repetitive. And then I'm like, okay, like I've got like everything, 45 ties. What am I gonna do?
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, okay, I'm out. But I really liked it, and you're right. Like when you like Jess gets excited for the Jilly box, like I would be like, it came in today, and you open it up, you're like, this is awesome.
That's part of why I'm only going to do 2 a year.
Yeah.
Although if the first 2 go well, there might be a special golf edition happen next summer.
Hello.
But the thing about it is that I'm being very. I pretty much have determined what's going to be in the December drop already. But it's all things that I think that every man would just love to have. But maybe not going to go out and buy it for themselves. But if you get it, it's like, oh, yes, please.
Yeah.
I want this. I'm going to use it. So it's not something that you're going to look at and go, oh, I don't want this. It's something that you're going to use and use a lot. Everything that's in the box. That's the idea. Nothing that is going to be like a throwaway.
I mean, I followed on Instagram and I went to the website. Some things that I got, I remembered that I still have. I got like a little valet thing,
tray, yeah.
The valet tray. I still use that every day.
Yeah.
Put your keys, your wallet, all your little things that you leave in your pockets.
It keeps you more organized and structured.
Very much so.
For sure, yeah.
They gave away a wallet at one point. I used that one for a couple of years, and like all wallets, they just wear out.
Yeah.
And it was a nice little wallet, like not a big, fat, clunky Costanza. And then the ties were great, and then the socks too. I mean, you obviously wear through them, but
so you're bang on the type of things that are going to be in the box. I mean,
it's a great idea, Murray.
Once in a while, there'll be maybe some skincare stuff, and you know some clothing items and whatnot. But I'm just really excited for it because I get so excited for it. You get so excited for it. I think that once. You know, if I can do a good job of getting the word out around the country about it, like I don't have massive expectations on that it's going to blow up overnight, but I really feel if I can get the first one done and with a decent number of people that do it, I think it'll blow up because word of mouth will travel like crazy on it. Because if you get one and you love it, you're going to tell 2 friends. And part of the strategy too, the drops are going to be early December and early May. Also, not just for men getting it for themselves, but what a great Christmas gift for women to buy the men in their lives and Father's Day gifts for the one comes in May just before Father's Day in June. So I'm not just targeting men, I'm targeting women that'll
buy for their
guys in their lives too. So
great idea.
Yeah, Instagram ads, TikTok ads, getting it to TikTok's influencers.
Yeah.
That's going to be get them to do videos of it.
Yeah.
That actually is that matters. But that's how I found about the subscription box, Brier, is you see somebody opening this, you're like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I just hate them in general.
You'll see some pretty fun videos that'll appear on social media and stuff like that. So
Excellent.
all the accounts are set up, but like I said, we're just going to start hitting it on social media starting in this upcoming week or so, and then it'll go crazy. I hope and get lots of interest.
Good for you, Murray.
Yeah, it was. You know what was funny is you'd get at my old building, you'd get the mail key for the packages.
Yeah.
And it'd be like, oh, it came in today. One time, dumb mailman actually like crushed the box and put it in the mailbox, in the regular one. I'm like, how do I even get this out? How did they get it in? Like they literally crushed it. And I almost had to like wait for the next day when they showed up and be like, can you get this out, you idiot? Like, what are you doing? I managed to like destroy the box and pull it out. But it was always fun to get it.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, now you'll have to get another one.
Yes, I'll get this one. I trust your tastes.
Well,
they're very good.
You do have great taste.
And I feel like the quality of the products you will curate are always going to be of a higher echelon.
Exactly.
That's how I trust you.
And all the boxes they're going to sell for $295, but the retail value in the box is going to be minimum $450.
Damn.
$450 to $500. So there's going to be good value. And what Jillian Harris does is she also does like an online store where then she partners with the companies, and then anything that they sell through her store, she gets a kickback on. I actually don't want to do that. What I want is just the every box that ever happens, every drop story that ever happens, I'm going to keep what was in each box on the site, so people can kind of get an idea of what's in it, even though it's a secret what's in the box that they're going to get. But the contact information for all the companies too. So I'm going to work with them and partner with them, and get them to give me a heck of a good deal on what's going in my box, in the drops. But then in return for that, I'm going to deliver them a whole bunch of customers that will buy from them potentially forever, and other products that they sell or and whatnot. Because not very many companies sell one thing.
No.
So you go to their website and like, holy smokes, like an idea for the spring box is probably there's a barbecue. I haven't talked to them yet. So, but this is an example. Sticky Fix barbecue sauce is local. Yeah. And won the best barbecue sauce in the world. A couple of years ago in 2024, I think it was. And I've tried it, and it's outstanding. So if I get one of those in the box, and then people are like, "Oh, this is delicious," well, they're going to run out of it, so they're going to want to buy more. Yep. They have other flavors of barbecues, of different sauces and seasonings and things like that. So if I deliver them, however many
new customers
in the drops that I do with their product in it, I mean, their sales can just grow significantly from it. So
that's smart. I like that. Good idea, Murray.
Well, thanks. We'll see how it goes. Fingers are crossed.
Steady for Men. Check it out.
Steadyformen.ca. Just want to get that out.
And you guys have an Instagram. I just went. But
Instagram.
You're working
Twitter,
on it.
Facebook. It's all gonna.
You're a busy guy.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
You have a golf show. You're on a golf course.
Promotional products company,
tough
which
stuff.
we won't talk about here because you have a sponsor that does that. But
we can still mention them. No tough stuff promotions.
Yeah.
This Steady for Men. We mentioned that, but you said just money, but you have the plant thing that you're in on.
Yeah.
You're a busy boy.
Well,
plus father, husband. There's still that too. And good for you.
Yeah. One of the keys is though you just got to surround yourself with great people, and then when you have great people that you work with, it enables you to be able to do some other things.
You might have to do book number 2. Other one going to book number 2.
See, there's another thing in the list. I wrote a book in the middle of all that.
Yeah,
somewhere, but
you might not have to be author number 2.
I don't think I'm going to go there. Although
book number 2, or you did. They always do the revisions, but people do like the revised edition where they add extra chapters. You just have to go add extra chapters for this part of your life.
Well, what I've always told people, if I write a second book, I'm going to write it when I turn 100, and it's going to be How to Live to Be 100.
Nice.
I like that idea.
If there's someone that could do that,
it's smart.
It'd be you.
Because I'll still be playing golf when I'm 100.
Yeah,
well,
it's the game plan, anyways.
With your fitness and all of that.
That's right.
Lars, steadyformen.ca. Steadyformen.ca. That is the website for this. And as Murray has said, it's August 1st.
Is when the sales will actually start. But until then,
first
the
box
idea
will be
is
December. But
building up a big database of people interested.
And on the website, there was, what did it say about the founders?
Just a neat dude doing
founding
neat
members
things.
receive first allocation before the public release. So it's a little bit exclusive there. Murray, I guess since we'll get this conversation to hockey here a little bit. You are self-proclaimed Chicago Blackhawks fan.
Well, I do have a big tattoo right here to prove it. So it's more than self-proclaimed.
Your thoughts of the Oilers acquiring Connor Murphy and Jason Dickinson, both from an Oilers perspective, I guess, and then getting them, but also what do you like the moves from Blackhawks perspective as well?
Sure. So the first trade, I don't understand when they were a day apart why they just didn't do one big trade. But,
by accounts, they were trying to see if they could do something else.
Yes,
couldn't get it done, so they circled back to Chicago and then just finished off. But they wanted Connor Murphy, so
right?
Get that deal done.
So Connor Murphy is an absolutely outstanding pickup for the Oilers. He for the most part, he was on our third pairing this year. With some injuries, he bumped up his second pairing, but he is damn solid, steady D-man. You're not going to get much offense out of him, but the other piece you're getting out of him is he is an outstanding human being. For I think 9 years in a row, every year, or 7 of the 9 years he was in Chicago, he was their representative for the King Clancy Award for doing the most in the community of the players and whatnot. So the guy is just a top shelf person. And if you guys have heard or been part of interviews with him, he's so well spoken and just a top shelf guy. Now with Chicago and him, we have so many young guys, and at his age, he wasn't going to be somebody that we re-signed because there's 20-year-olds that are ready to take his place. And sad to see him leave the organization because he's been such a good part of it. But we knew it was going to happen. Bowman had set the price that it was going to be a second-round draft pick, and supposedly he went out and said, "Hey, listen, to the teams that were expressing interest, first one that jumps up and gives us a second rounder, you get him." And so it was the Oilers. And so on that trade, and I think we might get into this later and all my thoughts on Stan Bowman, I'll give Stan Bowman a good grade on that trade, and I'll give Davidson with Chicago a good grade on that trade because he got what he wanted, a second-round draft pick. And, a lot of people were saying maybe second or third, and he got the second. And, you see some of the trades that happened a day later, but you can't. That's a game of cards. I mean, maybe they could have waited an extra day and a half, and maybe got a second and a third or something. But
Sure.
Davidson is also really good at putting people in situations like the Nick Foligno trade. He gave Minnesota Nick Foligno. Here, have him, because Nick Foligno said, they had a conversation. Do you want to stay? Do you want to go? If you want to go, where would you go? He told them 2 teams. He worked out a deal to send him to 1 team. So he's fantastic on working with the players in that way. So I thought that was a great trade for both teams.
I admire that element of Kyle Davidson because I feel like that probably helps him out in the long run. Somebody remembers him. They're happy to do business with him.
Yeah.
And it'll come back to him in kind in some time.
Like in 2 years, when Connor McDavid is going, he's getting 3 Blackhawks integrated into the dressing room, telling him how awesome it is to play in Chicago, how bright the future is, and how awesome Kyle Davidson is. And so, hey, Chicago, Connor McDavid.
Sure. Yeah. Dare to dream, Murray.
I know. I can. But okay, second trade. As soon as I saw that one, I'm not gonna lie, I was pretty darn happy from the Blackhawks perspective.
Yeah.
So, bottom line on that trade, Dickinson from the Oilers perspective, yes, you're getting a really good 3C. Great penalty kill. The Blackhawks, believe it or not, for where they sit in the standings, #1 penalty kill in the league. Since those 2 have left, we've only let in 1 penalty kill goal because so we can get into that. I think it's as much or more the system, and I saw some of that already on social media about our guys teaching the Edmonton guys, maybe some different things that they should be doing.
Yeah.
But Dickinson's a really solid 3C. A couple of years ago, he scored 20. But he doesn't provide much offensively at all. Just a good shutdown guy. He got smashed in the face-off circle yesterday, which isn't normal for him. But, that's a solid pickup. But the expectation was that we were going to get a third for him. Okay. So then you throw in Colton Dach, and everyone's, oh, boy. And you look at his hits and things like that. And I'm like, okay.
No.
The last 11 games that he was with Chicago, he was a healthy scratch 7 of the 11.
Yeah.
He had lost his spot on the 4th line to Landon Slaggert. You guys might know a little bit about him. His dad just got hired in the Oilers organization.
Oh, right. Out of Notre Dame.
Notre Dame,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, okay.
And Landon played in Notre Dame, was a captain in Notre Dame. And he just works his butt off every second of every shift, and Dach doesn't. And he beat Dach out, and two or three guys are going to be joining Chicago from Euro hockey, NCAA, and Lardis is up again now. And those 3 guys just bumping them further down the list. Like Colton Dach had 0 chance of making the Chicago Blackhawks next year. 0.
Wow.
And if he would have stayed in Chicago this year, he maybe would have got in a handful more games unless there was injuries. Because as soon as these other guys come in, and one of them should be here next week, Sacha Boisvert, first-round pick a couple of years ago. He's turning pro after a couple of years in college. He just bumps him further down the lineup. They probably would have ended up putting him down in Rockford for the rest of the year. So he comes here, you know what? Like, he got 5 minutes last night. Obviously, he hasn't shown the the coach much. Yes, he throws some hits here and there, but he's inconsistent as hell. Some days you see a shift here and there where you're like, holy crap, look at this guy. He's a player. And then it just goes away. And then there's games where you just don't even notice him and things like that. So he was a complete throwaway for the Blackhawks just to give us an extra roster spot because you only have 50 guys under contract at one time. So with these guys coming in, we need contracts available to sign. So he was a complete throwaway. Meant nothing to us. Mangiapane coming to Chicago. Again, it's a meaningless thing. They're going to play him a little bit right now. Now, these guys are going to come in unless he's played 2 games now. He's been a little feisty out there.
Which is good. He didn't do that a lot here.
Yeah. But unless he does something incredible over the stretch, he'll get bumped out of the lineup when these guys are coming.
Yikes.
And then, so for next year, the Blackhawks need money to get to the salary cap floor because they're so young. They're the youngest team in the league right now. They're going to be even younger next year. And if he does something incredible, which he didn't in Edmonton, so I'm not expecting it, that, okay, he'll play a little bit now, then he won't play the rest of the year. And then next year, they can either bury him in the minors and a bunch of his money counts against the cap, or they can just buy him out and then that money counts against the cap and he's gone. So so for the Blackhawks, that helped the Oilers, but it gave us a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
And, some people, what's a first-round draft pick? Oh, man. Like, if you look at the rosters of teams, a vast majority of a lot of the players are first-round picks. I mean, you get the odd surprise here and there where a third-round pick or a fifth-round pick or, a seventh-round pick, it turns into a player, but that's rare. It's whatever 30 to 40% of the first-round picks actually make the NHL. So the more first-round picks you have, the more opportunity you have to have NHL players. And so to get a first-round pick of the Oilers for that, I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
Now Dickinson and Murphy are absolutely going to help.
Potentially.
The Oilers. And are they rentals? Could they re-sign them? I mean, who knows how much cap space the Oilers will actually have, what kind of impression Murphy's already.
Well, they'll have a lot of cap space next year.
Yeah.
We know that.
Well, Wallman's 7x7 kicks in.
But the cap's shooting up.
It is shooting up. So
right now, Puckpedia says for next season, the Oilers have $16.7 million in cap space.
How many guys signed, though?
Henrik's a free agent, Dickinson's a free agent, Roslovic's a free agent, Kapanen's a free agent, Doc's an RFA, Lazar's a UFA, Connor Murphy's a UFA, Stastny's an RFA, Ingram's a UFA.
Yeah, so you got a lot of money to sign and guys to fill your roster.
So your top, you have 5 defensemen signed. Is there anyone I'm missing, like injured-wise? I don't think so. Forward-wise, Leon Connors, Hyman, Hopkins, Frederick, Janmark, Podkolzin, Szymanski, Savoy are all signed. So, you're just filling out the bottom stuff in a way.
So the other little piece with the Oilers in this trade is, they gave away a first and a second. And we were talking a couple weeks on this show is the team good enough to make a run, or do you just kind of hang tight and try to load up for next year and not give away those assets? But now that they've given away those assets, if they don't make some type of run, I mean, they're screwing themselves out of those assets for next year to use or the year after, which are probably bigger windows. Now, can these guys come and make a big enough difference to, if they can get in the top 3 in their division and be in the Pacific, I mean, I can see a path to them getting back to the semifinal and then running into a juggernaut of Colorado or,
Mini or Dallas. Just a buzzsaw waiting for them at the end
in the semifinal. Yeah. But and is that a success? I mean, I don't think it's going to be viewed as a success if they get to the conference final and get beat by one of those teams. And
no, they're pushing the chips in a bit on this. It's Stanley Cup or nothing. Yeah. There's no more appearances.
Exactly, and so I don't know. I think that we knew what was going to happen because when you have Connor and Leon and you saw they bring Paul Coffey back to the bench, I mean, that's signs that they're not throwing away the season. They're going all in. So was that enough to we'll see the next 2 games. I mean,
well, last night it was, but
Vegas, I don't think Vegas
doesn't look
good.
the same.
Yeah.
They're in a worse spot than the Oilers. It feels like they don't know what they are.
Yeah.
And they're just stumbling big time. And I know there's talk of, what the Oilers could fall to the playoffs. What if I think Vegas could fall out of the playoffs the way they're playing?
Absolutely. mentioned this before. I don't really like San Jose's roster enough for them to push up and get a playoff spot. But Seattle's
been a little bit more up than down, and they're right in the mix.
Anaheim, even though St. Louis just traded away 3 or 4 pieces at the trade deadline, and they shut Anaheim out last night. How does that make sense?
Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised from an Oilers standpoint. I was like, that's good for these guys.
It was a good day for Edmonton on the out-of-town scoreboard and them getting the job done. So, yeah, interesting stuff for sure.
But now we get into 2 really big games coming up. I'm going to take St. Louis out of this on Friday for now, just because that's just St. Louis. We're talking about the Oilers. Of this 4-game stretch, 3 of the games were against the top 3 teams in the NHL as of last Friday, I believe it was. I don't know if that's still the case. Hurricanes beat them. Now you're going to get the Abs, you're going to get the Stars. And we're going to find...
Hurricanes didn't just beat them. I mean, they manhandled them. Like, it wasn't...
Yeah.
Wasn't close.
I like the fight that the Oilers showed in that game. But
sure. And goaltending again.
They are still top 3 teams.
Yeah.
Like, that's scary. But,
I know.
They got some goaltending last night. I didn't watch the game. It was a little late for me last night. But I look at the shots. I listened to your post-game show this morning while I was working out. And, like I said to Maddie before, if the Oilers didn't play last night, your show from the night before, listen to the boys here this morning and the talk. I mean, now they got manhandled by a really good team on Friday night. Now they beat a reeling team last night. They did get outshot.
Yes, that's been an issue lately.
And whatnot. And so Ingram obviously played a little better and whatnot. But, I mean, I don't feel like it was a crazy dominating performance if they got outshot by a fair amount.
No.
And so I'm just looking at but the fans are, they win. It's all positive, joy. And I'm like, let's see what happens. And Carolina did it to you. Now, if these other 2 teams give it to them, then you know where you stand. You know where you stand.
Yeah, they're a good team.
You're a good team, but you're not elite,
Yeah.
and you're not going to beat one of those teams. Sure, you can beat Vegas in the playoffs. Sure, you can beat Seattle in the playoffs. Anaheim's going to be a tough out.
I agree.
But I mean, they can do it. But yeah, it's interesting for sure.
You know what, Murray? And I think we hit on it a little bit last night, and some texts came in about it. But the goal that was challenged and called back on the offside by Keegan Colasar, that was a bad goal. Like, that was a puck that does.
I haven't seen it, but I mean, you talked about it on your show, and that, boy, the game could have been completely different the other way if that. But I understand he was offside by a mile or something.
He was distinctly offside, and but the way it was like a sidewall pass shot at the net, basically along the ice, and Ingram, I think, was trying to steer it into the corner, and he angled the puck, and he actually roofed it on himself basically through his arm. So,
well, it feels to me like the positivity around Ingram is very strong right now, and that's fine. But what I find interesting is, just out of curiosity, I went and looked at Skinner's stats and Pickard's stats and Jari's and his with the team this year. And basically Ingram's stats and Skinner's stats are basically equal.
Weird.
And I mean, Jari's is obviously significantly worse, and also Pickard didn't have a good year up here this year, but it seems so positive around Ingram, and Ingram's playing so well, and Ingram's this, but the stats are no better than Stewart's were when he was here.
Going into last night, I think his save percentage was .890.
Yeah.
And then he was just below 3 goals against. I think it was
293 or 294, I think I saw.
So the bar is not high here, goaltending-wise right now, unfortunately.
But when it comes to the playoffs and the success and the Oilers are going to have, is the goaltending good enough? I don't know. I don't think so.
Question. Yeah.
Yeah. But
here it is. So this is from Stoff on Friday too, which is just interesting. On his show, he said there's some things that I'm concerned right now with Tristan Jarry. I can read between the lines of what was going on the ice yesterday in practice, so that'd be Thursday. There seemed to be some bleep flying. I didn't like that Jari, when the Oilers lost 7-3 to Minnesota, talked about the team is playing defensively in front of him. I watched him in practice, and he was getting beat by pucks in practice. And finally, one of the leaders, you could see him saying, "You got to push it more." So it was like calling out Jari during practice. And then Stoff added, it's both goalies. And now there's like Stoff on his show, and I'm not going to give Bob, I'll give him on this one. He is around that team. He alluded to potential, internal strife between the team and their goaltending. Both goaltenders. Yeah.
You go back to that one interview that Jari had, and that must have been the one he was referencing when I felt he threw the team under the bus. A lot of people were saying, he just said what's obvious or whatever. And I'm like, but you don't say that. You gotta back up your boys, and you gotta. What leadership is, and not every player is a leader, but if you got to take responsibility for stuff.
Yeah, but he did the next time he had an interview, but
I think someone talked to him.
Probably.
Whether it's a players, whether it's management or something, for him to turn that around basically overnight in how he was talking with the interview is somebody told him, you don't do that.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those people that when he had those comments after that game, I was like, well, he is saying what's true. I mean, these guys might not like it, but
fair.
What he is saying is absolutely fair. Sure. Now, the thing is, if you say that, then you have to be good.
Yes.
Right? Like you have to have a leg to be able to stand on, to be like, I did my part tonight. Guys, I need you. We work together on this, but that did not happen and hasn't happened. Outside of his first few games, really. Yeah. He hasn't been particularly good.
Yeah. Oh, 100% agree.
Yeah.
And that's where his tone got changed in a big hurry. But I mean, those are conversations that you could have in a dressing room amongst each other.
Yeah.
But throw that in the media I don't think that was okay.
Yeah.
And I mean, it probably got the backup of all the players. And so where this is coming from now, because it's not easy to just brush that aside and whatnot. And maybe that's what his personality is, and he got his hand slapped for it. But maybe he's not a guy that takes responsibility for his own play and wants to put blame on others. I don't know him or don't know what he was really like in Pittsburgh. Didn't follow him there to know, but I don't know. It's an interesting dynamic with the goaltending, and Sir Murph and Dickey are going to help keep a puck or two out of the net, especially when they're killing penalties. But these goaltenders are going to have to play better if the Oilers are going to go on any type of a run.
Bruins fan Chris, speaking of that, says Stanley Cup Finals. Chris, it's actually final. So before we get past that, and then he says, for the coil. Again, this is from Bruins fan Chris. Bah ha 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 ha. That's not happening this year, but dare to dream, boys. Your goaltending is Swiss cheese. Bruins fan Chris, I'm not on the Oilers, so they're not my goalies. And I'm not going to disagree with the Swiss cheese thing. And I didn't think we said Stanley Cup final.
No, that's the expectation. Like, it has to be that expectation.
Right. Like, they're in their window. If Bruins fan Chris can't understand that, that's on Bruins fan Chris.
I'm not going to sit there and say that the Oilers are going to go do that. I'm not going to bet money on that. But the expectation of this team based on this trade deadline has to, what else is it?
They're supposed to be a contender.
It's got to be, and you've got to.
They have not
if you don't get
like
to a Stanley Cup final, and even then, if you do, you can't lose 3 straight in a row. Like, I honestly think it's better for an organization, the mentality of the team, if you lose in any of the other rounds. If you get to the Cup final and lose 3 years in a row, you're basically turning into the Buffalo Bills. You might as well, like, I'll say this, like, you might as well blow it up to a degree, like a mini blow up, because it's just not going to work. Like, I don't know how you deal with that mentally as a group.
I'm not sure if he was really pointing that at any of us. I think he's maybe pointing that at saying, like, if you're Jackson or Stan Bowman, that might be who he was. He could have been pointing that at us. I don't know. But,
I mean, I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, for sure. But
they're not my team.
No. His points are very valid too. And he can say that. Tristan Jari can't.
Well, yeah, no, that's fair. But I agree with the Swiss cheese goaltending, and I don't think they're a contender. I just think they're a good team. Like, they lose to lesser teams. They get their asses kicked by better teams, and they beat some good teams, and they lose to some good teams.
Your guys' opinion then on the 3 new guys they brought in? I mean,
I think they're better.
Yeah.
I think they're just more NHL experience, more effective guys. I think Murphy was pretty good last night. The Carolina game was a tough one because the Canes were buzzing all over the Oilers.
They're good.
Dickinson, I think he's an improvement over Adam Henrique, certainly, and whoever else. I mean, I like Curtis Lazar, but I'm completely biased towards him.
Yeah, you're biased.
But yeah, no, they brought in good NHL players, which is what you need. Contending teams have depth, and it's all good NHL players with some elite guys leading the way. And this team has the elite guys. They don't have the good depth of NHL players, unfortunately. So
Murph has never played in a playoff game in his life. One little caveat there. When the NHL expanded the bubble playoffs during COVID, Blackhawks were beat Edmonton
to make the playoffs.
But
that
to
was
make
playoffs,
because it was playoffs or wasn't a playoffs.
That was playoffs.
It was.
So
it counts as playoffs.
It counts as playoffs, but Blackhawks wouldn't have made the playoffs if COVID never happened because they were outside of the top 8 and beat the Oilers there to kind of get whatever. So that's the only playoff experience that Murph has had in his entire career. So what's he gonna be like in the playoffs? Like his setup and structure of who he is as a player suggests he might be a good playoff performer. But when you haven't played in a playoff game in your entire career, he's gonna have to show that he can step up and compete at the level that you need to be successful in the playoffs.
I would trust him more than Spencer Stasny right now.
Well, yes.
And Ty Emberson, although Emberson's
for sure
been all right. Yeah.
It's just a little caveat with him.
So it's just 1 year playoffs, but he's never done it with fans.
Yeah.
In the building, basically.
Right.
That's
And with no fans, was the intensity that year the same?
It was interesting.
Yeah,
it was weird. I remember
weird.
I was there every day, and it was odd.
Yeah,
it was
for
different.
sure.
Yeah, it was cool, but weird.
We'll see. So do you guys want to get into, like, we talked about this before, and people were like, my hate for Stan Bowman and why this goes on. Like,
you were fired up when you brought this up.
We're going to relate it back to Chiarelli for a second, because as Oiler fans who are listening, and I mean, you guys maybe aren't fans, but you're Oiler guys or whatever. Peter Chiarelli 100% decimated the Oilers organization with crappy trades, crappy signings, crappy moves, and set them back years and years and years and years with the decisions and moves he made. So he gets fired. Shocker. Gives the Oilers one last kick in the nuts, signing the goaltender for that ridiculous contract the day before he gets fired. How that was allowed to happen, I have no idea. But since then, has he ever got a GM job again? Absolutely not.
No.
Okay. Let's talk about Stan Bowman, who, yes, his name's on the Stanley Cup a couple of times on a team that he inherited, which he piece by piece destroyed the organization. I'll give you just a few examples of absolutely insane trades that you can compare to moves that Chiarelli made. When he traded Artemi Panarin and Tyler Mott, who was an up and down player in the NHL. I think he's still even around a little bit, Tyler Mott, but he's traded Panarin and Tyler Mott for Brandon Saad.
To bring him back, right?
To bring him back. Like, are you out of your effing mind? Where Panarin's gone on to, he had incredible chemistry with Patty Kane.
Yes.
And, perennial 90, 100 point guy. And we trade him for a third line plug. What are you doing?
Did you notice Brandon Saad last night? Oh, no, you didn't watch the game.
No.
No, he didn't do much.
Yeah. He's
for Vegas.
So, absolutely insane trade. We traded Brian Bickle because he didn't like his contract that he gave him to Carolina for a couple of draft picks, but as the sweetener to take this shitty contract off his hands that he gave him, let's just throw in Tuevo Teravainen.
Yeah.
Teravainen and Bickle for 2 draft picks just to take Bickle's contract. Teravainen is back in Chicago now. He's older and not what he was, but he was a perennial 60-point guy for a long, long, long time in Carolina, and you gave him away for absolutely nothing. Philip Deneau went on to be an elite defensive center, consideration for the Selke Trophy for much of a decade. We traded, Idiot Bowman traded him to Montreal for Thomas Fleischmann and, I can even forget the other guy's name. He's so that irrelevant. I'm going to
I'll
forget
look
his name
it
right
up.
now. What are you doing here? Like, just giving away great young pieces for nothing. Dale Weiss and Thomas Fleischmann.
Wow.
What are you doing?
For Deneau.
For Deneau. Then we'll even relate this back to the Oilers a little bit. Darnell Nurse right now in a ridiculous contract. You want to know whose fault that contract is?
In a way, it is.
Stan
Bowman. It's not
freaking
Stan
Bowman.
Bowman's fault.
He set the market,
he
though.
set
But
the
yeah,
market.
his intention wasn't to come to the Oilers and
yeah.
but
be the GM of this team at that point. But you're right, in a
just
roundabout way, it's his fault for that one.
So people that don't understand, okay, this year when this happened, Bowman and the organization of the Blackhawks send a letter to the fans saying, hey, we're going to go on a rebuild. We're going to go on a rebuild. So what does Stan Bowman do right after that? He trades multiple young assets for Seth Jones and then gives Seth Jones a ridiculously long $9.5 million contract. Oh, which coincided with Darnell Nurse being a free agent and why Darnell Nurse got it. So yes, it's Stan Bowman. The Oilers could have said, no, we're not doing this. But he set the market, so it's Stan Bowman's fault because Stan Bowman's a moron that he did that with Seth Jones. But then not only after they announced they're going to go on a rebuild, he trades young assets for Seth Jones. He goes out and signs Fleury, Tyler Johnson from Tampa Bay, who was a good player at the time, and a couple other guys. It's like, are we rebuilding what? And none of that all flopped.
Yep.
Seth Jones, people were saying that Seth Jones and Darnell Nurse's contracts were like, I'm telling you, Seth Jones is a substantially better hockey player than Darnell Nurse. He was injured, or he would have been on the Olympic team this year, and even back in the days with Chicago, he's better than Nurse. But I mean,
Nurse had his really good year too when he became a free agent. He had been bridged a couple times too, just as a refresher. But you're right.
But this is just a small sample size because I could keep going.
Keep going.
But you do all these stupid trades and decimate the future of the franchise and get fired for it. Well, you know what? He didn't get fired. I was clamoring for him to get fired for ruining our organization. And then, I'm not a cancel culture guy, so everything goes down with Kyle Beach. Yes, he was involved in covering that up. Should he be, thrown to the curb for the rest of his life for being part of that? I don't think so. I mean, but he paid a price. But now, before that, he ruined the Blackhawks franchise with trades and signings like I'm talking about.
Yep.
And so he's a Peter Chiarelli level GM. Peter Chiarelli level. That's what he is. One of the worst GMs ever. And okay, so the Oilers now, he does have this big black mark on his because of the Kyle Beach thing.
Yes.
And he's a crappy GM. So you go ahead and freaking hire him as your GM in Edmonton? Are you out of your mind? That'd be the same. If any Edmonton Oilers fan, what would they say if Chiarelli got hired to be the GM of some team right now?
They would laugh at that.
They would laugh at that. So I'm laughing at it because it's absolutely ridiculous. Sure, if you want to bring him in the organization, bring him in as a pro scout. He's actually done not bad in bringing Euros over the years. So make him your European scout. So if you want him in the organization, but you don't make an absolutely useless, idiotic GM your GM. Like, why'd you fire Chiarelli? If you want a stupid GM that can't do anything right, keep Chiarelli. You don't need to frickin' hire Stan Bowman. Get your heads out of your butts.
I was waiting for this for a month because he was pretty fired up when he's like, we need to talk about Stan.
It just infuriates me. I like the Oilers. Maybe people sometimes think I come across as negative to the Oilers. They're my second favorite team.
Yeah.
But I call it like it is.
Yeah.
And Stan Bowman is a useless, crappy GM that never should have got the opportunity. And that has nothing to do with the Kyle Beach situation. But when you add that into it, what are we doing here?
Well, when that announcement was made, I went to the press conference. We obviously EST, it was a very big day at EST. And I came back, and I think the sentiment was throughout our station, Matty. I think everyone's like, what are they doing? Why is this the guy? And that was a Jeff Jackson hire, by the way.
Yes, I'm aware.
So, Dale Cates puts Jeff Jackson in place as CEO of hockey operations. And you still had, because there was still, Kenny Holland was moving on, right? He was a lame duck GM for 1 year. Then they bring in Stan Bowman, and that was Jeff's hire. And, we're told they work as a tandem. And a lot of the decisions have not worked out that well.
Color me shocked.
You are not shocked.
I'm not
I know
shocked.
you're not.
It's like...
Teuvo Teravainen, just really quickly. In his time in Carolina, he hit 64 points, 76 points, 63 points. He had 15 points in 21 games in 2020, 2021 before he ended up on, I'm assuming he had an injury. 65 points the next season, 37, 53, 58 last year in Chicago, 30 and 56 this year. So he's still a productive player.
Yes. He plays a lot on our fourth line right now.
Yeah.
Like third, fourth line. But man, I'm almost shaking. I'm so angry because he's such a piece of crap GM. And for Oilers to bring him here and like none of these idiotic moves surprise me. Like I at the trade deadline, okay. I don't think he did horrendous I just don't think he should have done any of it. But there is a long list of crap that he's already done, and Jeff Jackson too. I mean, it'll go down for me in a long time with the Oilers with that St. Louis when they hosed him out of Broberg and Holloway. That was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I mean, that one we're going to be talking about for a long time. A couple texts coming in here. 780-218-9999. This one says, I thought Bowman was a bad hire at the time. Doesn't look much better now. Crap on Holland all you want. At least he got them to a cup final twice. Bruins fan Chris. I think he is joking. So I liked it because it stirred it up. Bruins fan Chris says, I think the Oilers really need to focus on the offseason. Once they're out of the cap nightmare they are in this season, they have some real cash to play with and honestly really become a more serious force. Chiarelli was a bad GM that screwed up the Bruins too. Sorry if my messages sound like I'm uneducated. LOL, I'm messaging with Siri, so they may be long-winded, poor English. I'm in trade school listening to you guys in class. All right. Focus on class. We're having fun with it. All good Bruins fan, Chris. Dave in Section T says, I don't think Stan will be signing up for box delivery from Steady. And then another one says...
I'll tell you what, if he does, I'll send him a special box. And I'm not going to tell you what would be in it. Cause
I don't want to know. Listening to Murray, this text says he's 100% right with some laughs. And then... this one says, who does Murray dislike more, Bowman or the Weather Network?
That's a good point. Bowman, though. Bowman wins.
Yes.
Weather Network pisses me off, but I am literally just like, I'm
got fired
fuming
up.
just thinking about it still. Like,
He's red.
Oh!
No, he's you're flush.
Well, it just drives me nuts that Edmonton hired him when he's so crappy at his job. And he's proven it time and time and time again here. Like,
there's loyalty in the NHL, as we know.
But part of it's we wait and see. Maybe him and Jeff Jackson have this plan, and this summer they make the right moves and always win the Stanley Cup next year. There's, I'll just play a little devil's advocate here. This past deadline, a lot of other fans actually kind of like the moves that he made.
Do they like? Does anyone like the Frederick signing?
Well,
like the
picking
Jake
up his
Wallman
play.
signing?
Big goal yesterday for Frederick.
Frederick's starting to pick up his play. What if he turns around? What if this has been that turning point that he needed, that little break of the All-Star or the Olympic break, and he's going to start becoming that player that they were expecting? And then all of a sudden, he's a player. He's going to score you a couple of goals throughout the playoffs.
A 7-year,
throughout the playoffs,
$4 million a year contract. No,
if he produces in the playoffs, it will change everything. That we think of that contract.
It did for Connor Brown.
Absolutely did. Well, the Oilers, let's say, go lose in the conference final. I'm not going to go say Stanley Cup yet. You lose in the conference final, he scores you 6 goals in the playoffs, 5 goals in the playoffs. People not happy?
They would be.
Well, but how about this though? With what's gone on so far, like this summer, there's some salary cap space. With the last 2 July 1st in a row, been unmitigated disasters for the Oilers. In hindsight, sure, some people...
One isn't Stan Bowman.
Right.
The first one's not Stan
Right.
Bowman.
Sure. But with how can you trust this regime of the two of those clowns to make July 1 successful this year? Why would you trust them?
I don't know how many people actually do with the fan base.
Nor should you.
I would trust them because where they are better at is trading versus free agent signings.
Yeah.
And there aren't free agents to sign this summer.
Well,
It's not
it wasn't
a good,
last year either.
It's not a
it
good
wasn't-
draft list.
And probably because the salary cap keeps going up, July 1st is a dud. For I mean, it's never going to be the same. Even the trade deadline this year, like you look at that. I mean, trades. I think it's going to be bigger trades than it's going to be.
Yeah.
Well, the big thing the
free
NHL needs
agent
to go,
stuff.
one thing they need to do is double retention. Put that back in. There was no reason to get rid of double retention. There was zero
think they
reason for
will.
double retention to be thrown out the window.
I don't think they will. I mean, because they want teams to not. They want teams to be more cap compliant, and that's the way of circumventing the cap.
But it's not. This team's going to get an asset for eating some salary, and then this team's going to get the player for even less of a salary.
Yeah.
It's just there's no it's cap circumvention there. Everyone still has to be cap compliant. It's just one of those. We're now eliminating because you could still do it in this NHL. It's just it's like 120 days between cap retentions.
Right.
So if you traded a player in November with cap retained, that player then could have been traded for the deadline with cap retention. Shrink that. Like, so you can still do it. Make it like just get rid of that. It just is going to kill trades.
Yeah.
And then we get to the situation where, you can't do anything.
Yeah. The playoff one's going to be interesting too. Like the Oilers situation, a prime example. If Connor Ingram is going to be their number one goalie in the playoffs, Jari's not dressing because he makes 5 point whatever. Pickard makes just over 1, doesn't he?
Mm-hmm.
So that's $4 extra million of cap space that you can have on your ice.
But do they have those players to use?
I mean,
that
if
for?
everyone's healthy and depending on the situation, but that's basically.
Plus, you can't get in a situation where you're depending on that because what if Ingram plays poor and you have to go to Jari?
Well, then Ingram sits. I mean, but
Right,
Ingram,
but now you have to make cap situations.
Right.
You now get this player also has to sit
right.
because we've got to now get cap compliant.
Right.
Yeah.
That I think you're going to go with Jari in there because you just want your roster to be as stable as possible. That if anything messes, that you don't want your goaltending change to impact the rest of your roster from a cap perspective.
Yeah. Or like if you had a whole, I don't think the Oilers have this much play, but they could sit Darnell Nurse, and there's $9.5 million of extra cap money that you can put on the ice in any one game.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how teams play with that, though, right? Because it's
Tap dancing in the playoffs, cap-wise, yeah.
Yeah, but so you'll have to if you but you don't get the full LTI unless somebody's done for the regular season and playoffs. That's when you get the fullest relief.
Jan marks that, but it's only like 1.45.
But for in the deadline to get someone to replace Darnell Nurse.
Oh, right,
how did he make that work? Somebody's working on that.
Yeah, well, in that scenario, Nurse, if he was hurt now,
Yeah.
they could have brought in a bigger salary, just made sure Nurse was hurt until the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
And then, whatever. Then you finagle around with it game by game in the playoffs.
We have a new texter. First text from this person. No name, didn't give themselves an alias just yet. Welcome. This one says, well, boys, the only bad thing on the ice for the last 3 years has been Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. You guys talk like he deserves to be on the number one line. He's very slow, makes horrible passes, and loses the puck on the power play. And he's just average on the penalty kill. All his strengths are irrelevant. He's the anchor on the team now. I mean, I would disagree with pretty much all of those points. He's a pretty important player that has been very effective and plays well with Hyman and Connor McDavid. So, yeah, I mean, welcome. But I would disagree with a lot of that, if not all of it.
He's getting older. How old is he now?
He's 32.
32
He'll
or
be 32
3?
this year.
Yeah, 30.
He's not expensive anymore.
No, But when you have these younger like Savoy, although Savoy's with Dry right now, you look like
He got bumped down yesterday.
At an Ike Howard, and potentially, I mean, he's probably just not quite ready. But I actually get their point. Like if RNH is the 3C, which now you went and traded and got Dickey, but if you didn't trade for Dickey and you had him as the 3C, I feel like that's maybe where he's going to end up maybe if they don't re-sign Dickey, because he's
winding down.
He's winding down a little.
That I won't disagree with, but to say he's been the anchor of the team for 3 years, I would be like,
that's a little big, yeah.
The last 4 playoffs, he's been just shy of a point a game player in the playoffs. 14 points in 16 games, 11 points in 12 games, 22 points in 25 games, 20 points in 22 games.
Wasn't he 2 years ago? Wasn't he 100 points in the regular season?
The regular season, the 22-23 season.
Okay,
it was 104 points. So like regular season production it's dipped now, but probably back to where it used to be, which is you're about a 60-some point player in an 82 game schedule. But in the playoffs,
$5.5 million.
In the playoffs, just shy of point per game. I think that doesn't sound like an anchor to me.
No, it's not.
Winger, centerman, wherever you put him, he does it. He was taking draws yesterday because McDavid didn't take any.
That's I'd call that a overstatement as well. Like anchor's a little harsh for sure, but he's still a very valuable piece of the team.
Yeah, I mean, last year he didn't have a great regular season, only 49 points. There are some people that like that texter is not alone in the sentiment, but a couple seasons ago we did see a bunch of people just. There used to be this guy, I don't know where he is now, Alfredo, used to just dump on Nugent Hopkins all the time, and haven't heard from Alfredo in a long time, which is just fine. But there are a few people that don't like Ryan Nugent Hopkins for whatever reason, and that's fine. Like
it's because
I'm not offended by it. I just don't agree with a lot of what was said in that.
Part of that I always believe is that they just look at the offense and go, well, he's not better than a point a game player. Yeah. This is and shouldn't he be like a 90-point guy, or that's what they view him as?
He's never been though.
That's what I think. So they go,
the 1 year,
he's a first overall pick. This guy should be that, and they don't value his defensive play. They don't watch his defensive play. They don't value his penalty kill play.
Yeah.
And that's where I've always felt that it was, especially when his old contract. He was a $6 million player. Was he a $6?
He took a pay cut.
Yeah, so he's like a $6 million player for that. And it's in a smaller cap, so people are expecting that. Well, this guy should be a true elite offensive superstar, and didn't focus on his all around game.
Yeah,
I 100% agree with you, because that number 1 overall, if he was number 5 overall, number 6 overall, I think he's had a great career.
Yes,
but if you go look at the last, call it 20 years of number 1 overall draft picks, Nugent Hopkins is probably going to be in around that 15 range of the top 20. And it's not his fault. If you look at that draft,
it's just a softer draft.
It's a softer draft. Like, it's not every year that there's a Connor McDavid or a Nathan McKinnon or a Macklin Celebrini or a Connor Bedard sitting there at the top of the draft. And that was, and if you look at the time period when the Oilers were drafting number 1, I mean, obviously they got McDavid. That was a big win. Mm-hmm. But look at who some of their other number 1 picks, like Nuge, great career, but not that higher end number 1 pick. But Taylor Hall, he's also right near the bottom of that list, even though he's won 1 MVP. If you look over the scope of his career, not that great. Mm-hmm. And Neil Yakupov. Like, are you kidding me? That's number 20 in the last 20 years.
Yes.
So they had those years where the drafts were a little softer at the top end of the draft.
Nugent Hopkins, by the way, $5.125 million cap hit, not even $5.5 million. He has a couple more years left. He becomes a UFA in 2029 at the age of 36. And then just his career stats, I just looking 700. He's 4 points away from 800 in his career. He just surpassed 1,000 games. I don't know. That seems pretty solid to me.
Yeah.
Maybe he's not the explosive offensive superstar, but that is a really good
solid career. Really solid.
Well, here's the interesting one, just because of what the Hall of Fame is. He's then just a little over 200 points away. He's got enough time. He needs 4 50-point seasons to get to 1,000 points, basically.
Get it.
If the Oilers win a ring in that time too, does he go into the Hall?
I would say no.
But there are 1,000 points can get you into the Hall.
Has he won any individual awards?
No, he's been an all-star once.
Yeah, that's not an all. That's not a.
I know, but
Hall of Fame career.
the standard is rather low for hockey. That if you get 1,000 points, there's a potential.
I don't know.
I don't think that like the fact, no award. Like there's a lot to okay. Well, he's a really good player. You might say he was a great player. But that doesn't make you Hall of Fame great.
Yeah.
Like that's another bar.
Does it in a
But with
subtle way.
the standard that the Hall of Fame does have, if you get to 1,000 points, all of a sudden you sit there, you go, actually, could he get in?
I wouldn't wager any money that he would. It'd be interesting. I mean, how easy would it be to ask AI how many 1,000-point guys are not in the Hall of Fame right now?
Oh, that's a good question. I'll ask that right away
And
here.
then look at that list of names.
Because I'm just, like, Bernie Federico's always one I look at.
There's some texts that have come in. I want to read them. I'm just curious to see what you guys think. This one
Federico did
begins
it
with,
better.
ah ha ha ha. Who said that Nuge is probably one of the best two-way players in the league? Well, he plays in every situation. Power play, penalty kill, regular shift, 5-on-5. I mean, and how many coaching staffs have trusted him in all those situations? Every one of them that's been through here. I would say that's an indicator of him being a pretty good two-way player.
Yeah. I don't get.
Or a respected two-way player by many coaches and GMs.
He's a hard guy to hate on, I think.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Like they just don't like him for whatever reason.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you were around him a lot more than I ever had. He's
one of my
great
favorite
guy.
people to be around.
He's a great
Yeah.
human being. So
Yeah.
ChatGPT says there's roughly 4 retired 1,000-point players not in the Hall of Fame.
just 4?
Dave Taylor, Bernie Nichols, Brian Propp, Dale Hunter.
Those are all like really good players.
They're the only ones. They're
Dave Taylor, huh? He's
saying
Triple Crown
about
line?
100 to 103
Marcel
players in
Dionne
NHL
there.
history have reached 1,000 points. Most of them are in the Hall, especially after retirement eligibility periods. So it did try to do that. It does have that, like Crosby, Ovechkin, Malkin, McDavid are not in, but they're saying they're active players. So it says roughly 4 retired 1,000-point players are not in the Hockey Hall of Fame.
Wow. Well,
That's why I go if Ryan Nugent-Hopkins gets a ring and gets 1,000, there is a potential. There's a path for him to be put in there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Whether it's you believe it or not. Okay, Man with a Beard says there's 18 players not all with 1,000 points. You're missing quite a few. I use ChatGPT.
That's a Perplexity one. ChatGPT is not a fact checker one. Use Perplexity for.
I do have Perplexity.
Okay,
We'll
and that
check that one.
texter, there were no commas in that sentence that was texted in. So it changed the tone of the text, the one that said, ah ha ha, who said that Nuge is probably one of the best. He replied with, sorry, that's what I meant. He is one of the best two-way players in the league.
That's
Okay.
fair. That's
There's no punctuation in your text.
Yeah.
It changes the perception. My bad.
texting can be that way sometimes.
It can be that way.
You
I
don't get
apologize.
tone in a text.
Not always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's 18, well, that's probably too much for that guy to text in.
How many 1,000-point players in the NHL are not in the hockey?
Well, like Dale Hunter was a great player for a long time. Dave Taylor.
Taylor, my
Bernie
goodness.
Nichols had a 70-goal season.
Yes, he did. Didn't
And then
he?
who was
Yeah,
the
72? I want to say.
Yeah, who was that fourth one that you listed off there? Dave Taylor, Bernie Nichols,
Hunter.
Dale Hunter.
Well, so this one has, I'll have to go look. It's saying among eligible retired players, Dave Taylor, Bobby Smith, Brian Propp, Dale Hunter, Ray Whitney, Vincent Damphus, Bernie Nichols, Rob Brendamore, Theo Fleury, Keith Tkachuk, Alex Mogilny, Alexei Kovalev. So ChatGPT wasn't even close.
Yeah, that's fact
go,
checking. You always do
ChatGPT.
Perplexity. That's not ChatGPT. So there's some really good names on that list.
Yeah.
Really good names.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. Okay. Well, so yeah, okay, that changes that argument a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Mike, the Michigan fan, texts and says, if Paul Correa is in the Hall of Fame, then Nugent Hopkins belongs in the Hall of Fame.
Although Paul Correa at his height was,
Stellar.
he was a star.
Yeah.
He was a star.
Yeah, he's certainly top 5 player in the league for a period of time.
Yeah. I think
In
that's
his
fair.
era?
Late 90s, early
Yeah.
2000s. Peaked probably that 03 Stanley Cup run that the Ducks had.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good player. Little guy.
Yeah, got absolutely blown up by Scott Stevens and scored the winning goal that game. And he said he couldn't remember it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was a violent hit.
Yeah.
There's no way he'd come back there. Like nowadays, that player's out. That player ain't getting back to the game.
No.
I do.
And
remember
probably
that one, though.
if he scored the game-winning goal and didn't remember it, he shouldn't have been playing.
J.S. Shiger was brilliant that series.
Paul Correa, just remember, he finished
loved Paul
2009, 2010, 43 points in 75 games with the Blues.
It was the Blues is where he ended.
Yeah, he played
That's
3
right.
years in St. Louis. So
I
he
was
went
thinking Minnesota
didn't
for some
remember
reason, but it was the Blues.
just under a decade with the Ducks. Went to the Avs the 1 year with Solani. It wasn't particularly good.
That was we're going to bring in these 2 old guys to try to get them a ring. Hopefully this puts us over the top, and they couldn't get it done.
That's
It's the
right.
same as like the Lakers brought in, who were the 2 guys in 04? Karl Malone and Gary Payton, and they lost the NBA Finals in 04, so they got further. But it was one of those, like, it was very reminiscent of, we're going to bring these old guys in, or older players, and we're going to try to win the cup.
yeah.
I did want them to get a cup.
He had 2 really good years in Nashville, 05, 06, 06, 07, 85 points and 76 points, played all 82 games. Then he went to St. Louis, 65 points in 82 games in 07, 08, so still pretty effective. Only played 11 games in 08, 09, had 15 points.
Jesus. What was his best year in Anaheim?
Best year in Anaheim, 108 points.
Oh, geez, yep.
His second season, 95, 96. 50 goals, 58 assists. That was his lone 50-goal season. Hit 101 in 98, 99. And then a couple of 3 80-point seasons after that. 1 70-point season, a bunch of 50s and 60s. And then, that last season with the Blues, 9-10, 75 games, 43 points, and then he called it a career. 989 points.
Any cups? He won 1 in Anaheim or no?
No, he was gone by
when
then.
they won then? Okay.
He was in Nashville.
He didn't finish with 1,000 points?
989.
Did I throw his name out there from perplexity?
Yeah, because that's why
So
we were talking
perplexity
about
is
him.
wong. Never trust any AI.
Yeah.
Maybe
Well,
they count. They didn't
playoffs
separate
too.
playoffs.
No,
Yeah,
probably not.
Good point.
So that's probably how they got to some of the. Okay, well, that's
Only-
stupid.
Only 46 playoff games in his career, 39 points. So he showed up.
Wow, absolutely. For a little guy, too. Mm-hmm. Huh. You guys taking any of the highlights of the Buffalo-Tampa Bay game yesterday?
What,
Just saw the penalty
8-7?
box.
8-7 and like 6 fights, and that was a wild game.
Buffalo is the 5th most points in the NHL right now.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
And the biggest move that they made was firing their GM.
Which I don't know how that translates
I know.
to the ice.
That's-
Coaches happen all the time, and
Yeah.
you see that change.
Yeah.
I don't understand how a GM change
Turns the team.
turned the franchise around for this season. Like he, in the end, was a good GM. He built this team.
Maybe it was the environment that was created.
It has to be.
Yeah.
There has to be some sort of story written at the end of this season of what they feel like changed.
Yeah.
Because you just never see a GM change happen and a new GM come in and not even make moves at the time, really.
Yeah.
And you skyrocket up the standings, and now you're 5th in the National Hockey League.
Good for Buffalo. Like the fan base there is long suffering.
Like, what are their odds for the Stanley Cup right now? Are they higher than the Oilers?
They should be.
While you're looking that up, the Colts have signed Alec Pierce to a record-breaking deal for receivers. 4 years, $116 million.
Wow.
Alec Pierce? He's
So it's
the
just
best
under
receiver
40
in
a
the
year.
NFL?
Here's what I'll say. When it comes to NFL free agency, I don't care about the years. I don't care about the money total.
Yeah,
What's the guarantee?
what's the guarantee?
You got to
Right.
always find out what the guarantee
Yeah,
is.
I'll see if that.
That's the big number that you always have to pay attention to. Nope, Sabres have not shot up.
So
They
odds
are
makers that play Alberta
one-
think they're pretenders.
1, 2,
basically.
3, 4. Well, like not all the way to the top. They are still up there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th. They
That's
are
not bad,
8th.
though.
So just over 18-1. The Oilers are just over 11-1. So the Oilers are the 5th best odds to win the Stanley Cup still. Higher than Dallas and Minnesota. I'll say this right now. If you're looking for a little bit of value, the Avs are plus 280. Dallas, Minnesota at 16-17-1. I know one of them's going to be knocked out in the first round.
Which is probably why the odds are lower.
But if you're looking for some value out there, a little sprinkle on one of those two teams, it's not the dumbest thing. Because they are 2 and 4 in the NHL right now in terms of standings or something like that. So it's not bad. I'll just say that.
Okay, Alec Pierce was targeted the 53rd most of any receiver in the league last year, had the 66th most receptions in the league last year, 19th most yards caught in the league last year, 25th in most touchdowns by a receiver last year, 81st in yards after the catch last year. How in the hell did he get that contract?
I don't know. Good agent.
Yeah, holy.
Does he have some kind of analytics in football that people are salivating over? I don't know.
He's 25, so he's young. And so maybe they think that his trajectory is upwards, but holy.
Pyrogenatius, counterpoint, how often do GMs get changed mid-season? I think it obviously not as much as coaches, but I still think it happens a bit. There's a change with Nashville this year, even though he's still there. But Barry Trotz has thrown the keys on the table, basically. You had Buffalo. There's a lot of teams that do make those moves to get ready. Peter Chiarelli here happened to him. Not as often, I'll give you that.
Yeah,
but
a lot less often.
But there are still, I think, some mid-season the GM changes, and they go to an intern because they know in the offseason they're going to go hunt down their general manager and stuff.
Yeah, but they did a little bit of the trade. Buffalo tried to swing for a home run with St. Louis.
Yeah. Got shut down.
Got shut down. That's interesting. Yeah, I read a quote from Parayko that said that he has a tough time deciding which kind of coffee he wants at Starbucks to make a decision that has that much impact on his life. Like that was just too much for him to want to handle that in that at that time, and that's fair.
Hey, as part of his contract, the team also agreed to give him the no movement clause or put power in his hand to decide where
I
he wants to
don't
go.
buy Doug Armstrong saying that he's all upset that it leaked out there, and they looked at all the phones and emails of the entire staff, and there's not a single leak that has come from the organization.
Isn't that like a big faux pas to look at staff and spy on them?
That's a lie. They can't do that.
Oh no, it's happened in other organizations. I think the one around here it can happen too. I think if you could sign, like they have access. It was an Office episode actually. I think they'd have access. If it's in your company, they could probably look up your emails. Man. If it's a company phone, all that.
I guess that's fair.
I just feel like it's one of those you're doubling down and overdoing it to try to hide the guilt of it type thing. Like, oh no, we definitely didn't do this. We're no stone has been left unturned hunting this down to make sure. How did this come out? Like, I don't know. Like, why would Buffalo have this incentive? They're trying to bring a player to Buffalo.
Yeah.
Also, to hear Doug Armstrong say something like that, like after he got Broberg and Holloway, he's like, no, I didn't talk to Kenny Holland at all. But they're only best friends and golf together all the time. BS bold italic _. So yeah, Matty, I'll second that with you on that one.
Yeah, I don't trust him at all.
Yeah, full of hot air.
How about another article that came out this week? Really curious to hear your guys' thoughts on the article that came out about maybe Bob Stauffer, the next GM of the Oilers.
Go ahead, Matt. First of all, that was a headline.
Yeah.
Okay, before I get portions of this hour brought to you by the High Product Marketing, official merch partner of Edmonton Sports Talk. Promotional products that bring them buzz. Check them out at highproductmarketing.com. I found it funny the amount of people that were like, just because they're going, Stan, it can't be worse than Stan Bowman. No, it could be.
Yeah,
it absolutely could be.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I guess why is he qualified to be a general manager of a team?
He's not.
He's not.
Okay, so that
not.
Sorry.
You want to
sit
here?
But he's not.
If you want to sit there, if the article was he's going to be brought into the fold to be an assistant GM, sure. I had time for that. I could. Peter Hanlon was just hired as from the communications, long time around communications with the Calgary Flames. He's the assistant GM with the Flames now.
Tom Holy, I think, with
what are
the
their
Sharks.
What are their roles though? Because there's cap
Assistant
guys
GMs.
that are assistant GMs.
Why? But it
that run
doesn't.
the cap and-
Honestly, the title is their assistant GM.
Sure.
I don't care about that was happening. The GM of the Ottawa Red Blacks. He ultimately came from communications with the Ticats. Sean Burke, I believe it was, worked his way up and then became a GM. So you can come from different spots and get into those spots, but not immediately. Like Sean Burke, even he moved to football ops, then up there. The idea that a color analyst who has no history of playing in the National Hockey League, no history of coaching in the National Hockey League, is just going to jump and run the most pivotal years under Connor McDavid. And I use him, not Leon Draisaitl, because one guy can leave in a couple of years, so he chooses. If things turn dysfunctional in a heartbeat, he will leave. That's how you do it.
Are they
Go
not
for that
already
one.
dysfunctional?
Yes.
And
That's
hiring
a
him
different one. That's another level of dysfunction.
Wow.
You are now you are the Cleveland Browns doing something that they would go to.
I agree. Because I mean, that's the dysfunction is already there, and this would just be an elevation of the dysfunction that
It's
there.
this story is one that to me I wasn't like it's not even worth the attention.
Yeah.
But the crazy thing is, because that coming out is something, because we all know that he's in the ear of Cates and whatnot. And so if he's that close with Cates, he's probably put in the ear, well, I can do a better job than Stan Bowman. And you know, he goes, well, you think so? Huh. Well, maybe we could try it. I mean, there's got to be some legs to this. Even if it's a little bit, there's got to be some legs to that. Otherwise, it's not getting out there like this.
I'm going to be careful with my words.
Yes, as you should be.
Talking to some people within the organization when they saw that. And listen, again, in that it's the headline that you got to read the article, because David Staples, it's a blog or whatever, says he doesn't.
It was Ryan Whitney that also.
And it came from a Spit and Chicklets comment, which those guys are good entertainers, and they do a great job. It's one of the best hockey podcasts, and we got to give them the flowers for that. Dave Staples said that he doesn't think he'd be a good GM. So just to get that in there, and it's good that he put that in there.
Yeah.
It didn't go over well from the people I talked to in the organization, and they have concern that it might be a step towards something like that happening. So this is what I was told. You know, if he pulls it off, good for him and gets to do that, but I don't think it would be a good decision.
So leaks like that happen to get a feel for what
Correct.
the public and reaction of your fans and your season ticket holders are going to say. So that was a leak done on purpose.
And Bob does have a very strong relationship with the owner. I have witnessed it firsthand many times.
Yeah.
So I'll say that.
Fascinating stuff.
If they do that, just leave it at that.
Yeah. Like, how impactful has Paul Coffey been back on the bench? Like, that whole thing came from that whole little circle as well. And so has, like, last year he was like the defense whisperer and whatnot. And maybe it's a little small sample size so far, but I haven't seen any massive changes that make me think, oh yes, Paul Coffey's the best defensive coach in the history of hockey or whatever. You know, it's you know,
I think it kind of goes back to what we said earlier. Like, they're just trying everything in their toolbox to make sure this thing gets to the playoffs and they can just give themselves a chance. And desperate times call for pretty desperate measures, and they've had to pull out some stops here.
Yeah. Desperate times call for desperate measures, but those measers should be better than the ones that they're doing. I don't know. I wonder, like, if he was talking completely off the record, and he probably wouldn't say anything anyways off the record, but how comfortable is Knobloch in the situation that he's in right
not.
now?
You can see it in the way he's on the bench how he's acting compared to months ago, and we see him getting angry at the refs, screaming at them. Usually he's pretty composed. He has gotten mad at refs at times, but
Not to this level.
yeah, there's definitely been a change. I mean, when you have the guy who's second in charge of the organization, who you don't see eye to eye with, standing at the end of the bench again.
Yeah, that you can't control the fact that he's there.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna. I'll be honest with you. Like Knobloch, Stan Bowman, and Jeff Jackson. Like I think there's
See them all gone.
some concern for those three.
Yeah,
all three.
I could see all three of them gone this summer if there's not a significant run. I could see all three of them gone.
With how things are operating now, I'm sitting there going, well, you put these guys into a bad spot.
Yeah. Well, and some of it I could see Knobloch saying, I don't want to be here anymore. This is not a healthy situation for me.
Yeah.
So it's all fascinating.
Sorry, I'm just fixing something for Smitty the Welder with Play Alberta.
What's scary? Oh no, I'm not saying anything.
Oh, it's if it happens, the Oilers should be a laughing stock. I'll say that.
Yeah.
Just I guess in one way, actually I shouldn't say that. It's a wait and see. Let's see how it goes. But if Connor were to leave because it turns disastrous, like it would it would be because the Oilers decided to make their color guy general manager.
Yeah.
That's the risk that you have there. And Rip City has what makes someone qualified to be a GM though. It's all about who you know, 100%. But it's also those relationships. And an argument could be made that there weren't maybe proper relationship with the Oilers, and that's why Doug Armstrong had a relationship with Ken Holland. He had a relationship with Kyle Dubas. He got his pick back from Kyle Dubas. He then offer-sheeted the Oilers, took those players. Does Bob have those connections?
I was going to ask that.
That are at the same level?
Any connections to other GMs in the league that he could call them up and say, hey, bud, what's going on? Yeah.
I'm sure you would know those people, but he hasn't spent his time at NHL GM meetings. So he's not tight with them. You're not tight.
Yeah.
You're not, hey, this summer you're in Kelowna, I'm in Kelowna. Let's the families hang out. Mm-hmm. Those type of things. Again, does he text the GMs? Probably.
Yep.
But is it a level of he has that connection that you could talk and make those trades with? Probably not.
I think that experienced GM would turn him inside out and backwards and fleece him over.
But, if you're some of those GMs, you're probably looking at the Oilers and be like, okay, well, this is a guy we could take advantage of him. Yeah. And the flip side, I'll also add to that, and this is why, like, if that's the goal is to have him GM, then he has to be an assistant GM for a couple of years, because then he could build those connections, and then he could go do that.
Say this: he's a smart guy. He thinks a lot. I'll give him credit. He's sharp as a whip, but it's not a good scenario. And the timing, like Maddie said, would be awful.
Yeah, and if he was to get right into the GM, like, you would need to hire like a high-end assistant GM that has some of those resources. But why would a high-end assistant GM come and work with them?
I will also just say right now, he would have hired Chris Knobloch.
Yep.
So you would have had a coach that he's going on the intermission yesterday ripping, would have been his guy.
Yeah,
Maddie, I would even say he is his guy.
That's okay. Then now he's completely turned up. So he'd be firing the coach, maybe, I guess, right now. But that would be the guy he hired.
Yeah. Collingwood Rob texting in says, why does upper management in Edmonton have such a hate on for Keith Gretzky and not allow him to be the GM in Edmonton? They also let Staios go. I think Keith, and I've kind of touched on this a little bit, knowing Keith pretty well. I think Keith has been very strategic in how he places himself within the organization. He got rid of his place here in Edmonton, said, I'll take care of the farm team, bought a place down in Bakersfield, kind of out of sight, out of mind. Let me take care of my thing. What do you need from me? I'm there for all the meetings. Do you need me to fly into Edmonton? Okay, I'm there. I think Keith has been very smart about how he's handled his role, and he's navigated some choppy waters. I know when that position was open and he was kind of in the running after being interim GM, he was interested in it, but I think he's kind of laid low, so to speak, deliberately.
Just one other thing on Bob. There's another thing on Bob also, everything. It's just the idea that any color GM or color analyst being there, that's not,
Sure.
that don't have those connections. It's not a specific, it's not just Bob. It's like, it's just the idea of a color analyst that doesn't have
Right.
a GM. Like, there's the talk of, I know he's thrown out there, like Ryan Clark on the NFL. He should go run a team. Well, a former player at least. Like, right? There's those guys get those jobs before. Maybe if Bob Stauffer ever got it, it would work.
Maybe.
But
maybe.
it's one that it seems just like, what are you doing type move? So I just want to throw that one out there.
What's your take on? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
NFL news. According to Ian Rappaport, the MVP of the Super Bowl, Kenneth Walker, running back, is no longer with the Seattle Seahawks.
Oh, wow.
Oh, who did he go to?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay, that texter talked about Steos. What's your take on Steos leaving?
Here?
Yeah.
Well, it's the Michael Andlauer connection because he was tight with Andlauer through the Hamilton Bulldogs.
Yeah.
So there's obviously loyalty, and my understanding, Steve Stales has been great. We had him on Hello Hockey again this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I think from what I was told, he knew as soon as Andlauer got the team, he was probably going to be his guy in Ottawa, and the plan was for Steve to eventually take over from Kenny. He was like the next guy, and Ken didn't even he didn't even hide that really.
Yeah.
But from what I understand, he kind of negotiated. Stales kind of negotiated with the Oilers, asked for the moon and then some, and when they said no, that's ridiculous. We can't give you all that.
Yeah.
It was his way to say, all right, I'm going over to Ottawa. So strategic.
Obviously.
Not surprising.
I'm going to give you my take on it, and I either say I'm out to lunch or say, I have some there. So he viewed the Ottawa situation as a safer situation for him long term, in that the Oilers, sure, better roster with Connor and Leon, but the other stuff that he would have to deal with here compared to the relationship he had there, just much simpler and easier for him to see long-term stability and security there versus dealing with the shenanigans that he would have had to deal with here.
100% yes.
Yeah. Okay.
There's a lot here that nobody knows about that people would be shocked by.
He did. He knew.
Well, I mean, he got peeked
He'd been behind the scenes, so he would have.
I mean, he was Kenny's right-hand man. Ken, if you ever get a chance to talk to Ken Hall and ask about his time in Edmonton, and he trusts you or maybe has a couple of beveraginos, he'd learn some things.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. That's a great point, Murray.
Yeah.
Stability, actual true control.
Yeah.
You've got the owner who's got your back because
Right.
of your rapport and relationship with him. 100%. I talked about this going into the deadline, I think it was. But I remember the Oilers were interested in Bill Guerin after the Chiarelli era. And he was assistant GM in Pitt. And from what I was told, there was concern from his standpoint about the other stuff that comes with being president and GM of the Edmonton
He was
Oilers.
around here for a while as a player and whatnot, so he's privy to some of that too.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's a tough market.
Yeah.
Also, the Oilers aren't making a management change. I don't see that coming.
Well, they should, as I outlined for 10 minutes of
I
anger
get it,
earlier.
but like, unless they're missing the playoffs, like I just don't see. Maybe I'm going to be wrong on that one. I just don't see like if anything, the GM's going to get a chance to make a coaching change because he's never made one as the GM.
Yeah.
And that's usually the process.
Yeah.
Coach goes first, then the GM, then the president.
Well, time will tell. I mean, in most organizations, I would 100% agree with you. But
this one's different?
This one's just a little different.
A little funky at times.
I can't dispute you on that one. Well, that's weird. Oh, this like reverted to an old one.
Oh. Did you open up an old one?
I don't think I did. Oh, okay. Well, the official drink of the EST Hangout, it is Dylan's Small Batch Distillers, refreshing cocktails made by the #1 canned cocktail brand, made the right way, crafted right here in Canada. Tom Gazzola, Matt Iwanyk, Murray McCourt with you here on the Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage, Canada's storage experts. Coming up 11 o'clock, we've got The Lock Shop, Dusty and Huss. We've got Oil Stream today, Dusty and Tommy. EST Afternoons, Reed Wilkins Show with J Mill, all until 6 o'clock right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. And today's March 9th. When's golf show?
April 28th.
Jeez.
April first episode is April 26th. Sunday, April 26th.
That's coming up fast.
It is coming up fast.
coming up
And
fast.
I'm excited for it. I mean, it's some changes to the show this year. I'm going it alone this year. Not having a co-host with Curtis, and there's a few little ins and outs, twists and turns that I got planned because I won Rant of the Year with EST. There's going to be a Rant of the Week on the show where I'll kind of go off a little bit about something. And a guy named Dunk Mills, he ran the McLennan Ross Jr. Tour in Alberta for like 30 years. Going to be like a small segment, about 7-ish type minutes, where he'll join us virtually and give us a report on junior results from around the province with local golfers and things like that. So a few little twists and turns. And one of our advertisers, TaylorMade, has given me as a prize to give away. I haven't figured out exactly how I'm going to do it yet, but they're giving me a complimentary custom fitting and a driver.
Ooh.
So,
Damn.
so you get to go to the TaylorMade Performance Center at the ranch, get fit by their TaylorMade master fitter, and whatever he fits you into for the driver, you're going to get it.
That's the QI40.
Yeah. So it'll be, I haven't figured out how I'm going to give that out yet. I might, consult with my producer, Coob, and see if he has some ideas. And I don't know. I got
You
to
could go text of the year.
I got to figure that out.
Hold on to a bunch of the text, find best text of the year or something like that. You can do contests.
Yeah, 'cause that,
big draw on the final show.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I don't think I want to do it that late.
You want to get it out
because I want to
sooner.
get
Yeah,
it in their hands.
that's
Because
fair.
my idea is, if they would be up for it, is whoever wins it, I'd have them on the show like maybe a month later,
Right.
so they could talk about the fitting and how it went, and then talk about how the drivers performed for them compared to what they were using before.
It's a good idea.
Yeah, and so I kind of want to give it out around the middle of the
That's fair.
show. So and obviously whoever wins it, they wouldn't have to come on the show if they weren't comfortable, because as you guys know, not everyone's comfortable.
Tell them they don't get it
in
unless they're
front
coming on.
Yeah, but I think
Right.
that'd be a pretty cool segment to have somebody that won that talk about the experience, and give some plug to TaylorMade because they're doing it, and for him to be able to go through the experience as a regular golfer and to talk about how awesome it was, so other people can hear it, and it's not necessarily coming from me, even though it is an awesome experience because I get it for myself every year as well. That it's just it is a great thing to do, and it's a few minutes down the road.
It's very close. I bought the QI10 last summer.
Yeah.
It came out 2 years ago. Then they went to the 35 last year or the 30? This is the next iteration. They
Yeah.
renamed it, and then now it's the 40 I saw.
Yeah, I saw, yeah.
Have you hit it yet? Have you gotten your hands on one?
I'm in the middle of I have a golf lesson again this afternoon. I'm in the midst of a massive swing change, which is interesting for, a grizzled veteran golf pro like me, but I was not happy with the consistency of my game. And I've been working with Cam Martins, arguably the best instructor in Edmonton and one of the top in Canada all winter. And, so I haven't even really hit a driver yet. I haven't got fit into my clubs for this year. I'm still building towards it because doing the change that I'm doing, it's significant.
Wow.
And it's, I put a lot of time and effort into it, and been working with Cam, and because he's good at what he does. And so, it's starting to get closer to that golf season, so I'm going to need to start. It's starting to come. My contact is now pretty solid most of the time. Distance hasn't come back yet because I'm not maybe confident enough to really go after it and swing as hard as I need to. So I'm hitting. I basically hit 8 irons is all I hit, and I'm probably 20 yards shorter with it right now than I was before.
wow.
So it's, but it's going to come. I mean, I'll get that distance back, but I mean, it's just been months and months and months of work. I'm putting in the time to try to make it so I get rid of some of that inconsistency and I can play to the level that I can, even with my swing before, I could shoot a lot of scores in the 60s.
Yeah.
But then I wouldn't. So it's just about getting my game at the best it can be more often, is what it's all about.
You're like a mad scientist.
Man, you know what? When I decide I want to do something, I'm all in.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do something if I'm not going to put the time and effort and work into it, whether it's the VIP golf show or the Ranch Golf Club or my golf game or my health and fitness or whatever it is that I decide this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it. I might not be as successful as I want to be, but I'm putting in the time and I'm putting in the work to get to where I want, do everything I can to get to where I want to go.
I like that.
Yeah.
That level to commitment or level of commitment.
Yeah. But it's,
Well done, Murray.
time and effort.
Yep.
If you want to be good at something or be successful at something, it's not going to come easy. You got to work for it.
Tough ending to Cooey.
Oh,
What a week for the
Yeah.
rink out of nowhere. No one's
Yeah.
expecting that. Just can't get it done in the last game.
yeah, that was tough. Like for those that are listening, whatever. I am really good friends with Kark Martin and his family, who plays on Team Cooey. The ranch is one of their sponsors, so are not at the Brier, unfortunately, but our logo
During the Grand Slam season, all that.
is on their uniforms. Kark's wife and son were at our house watching it with us, not yesterday, but the 1-2 game in the Page playoff system. So, so I'm close in there, and they've struggled. Cooey has struggled himself for a couple of years, and I to be honest, I'm expecting him to announce his retirement fairly quickly now that they didn't win.
He was asked about the getting set for the next Olympics, and he's like, "Yeah, I don't know if I'll be there for the next one." So it's like not much left.
No, I'm expecting him to retire. If they would have won, I mean, obviously they would have. Well, I can't say 100% that I think he would have come back, and I don't really know. This is me speculating, but it was such a great week for them, undefeated. Beat Dunstone twice during the week, and then lost to them the third time they play. And we talk about that in a lot of sports, that beating the team 3 times, a really good team 3 times in a row, is not an easy thing to do.
No.
And Dunstone really didn't make any mistakes. He curled a fabulous game, and Kevin did make a couple mistakes back-to-back, 2 stones in a row in the 7th end that cost
It was a big end.
3-ender, and that basically, for all intents and purposes, ended the game. But what a great run for them, though. I mean, because they haven't been at their best the last couple of years. At one time, I think they were down to ranked 32nd in the world, where 2 years ago they were 5th in the world.
Wow.
And so, a big drop off. But for them to, if this is his swan song, to pull off a week, because he was great all week.
It was some of the shots he made were classic vintage Kevin
shots.
Cooey.
Absolutely.
Like he was making those run backs and
Turn back the clock for a week.
yeah. I was so I really wanted Jacobs to get to the final and Jacobs versus Cooey, because it would have been just, to me, a great story for Alberta, the 2 rinks, but for Jacobs, his rink to possibly go Olympic gold, Brier, back-to-back, 2 intensive tournaments.
A month apart.
Not even a month apart, really. And then, because the gold medal for curling would have been the 23rd or something.
Yeah.
And then I just wanted Cooey because turn back the clock, bring that there.
Absolutely.
But in the end, there's just something, I'm not the biggest Dunstone fan for some reason. I don't know why, but he's been so close so many times. And he finally broke through.
Yeah,
so good for him. Good for that rink.
You even talk about the Olympic trials. Cooey at the Olympic trials, the final was Dunstone against Jacobs at the Olympic trials. Cooey beat them both in the round robin. They lost to the teams they shouldn't have lost to in the Olympic trials and beat those 2 teams. So that was actually 3 wins in a row against Dunstone for Cooey, and then lost the the one that mattered, the most. So yeah.
And now we get into the curling free agency. It's NFL free agency today, but this year it's the big curling free agency because everyone reloads their teams for the next Olympics. It's the 4-year run. You get your team reloaded, change things up, and you get ready for that run. So over the course of the next, 3, 4, 5 weeks, we're going to be getting a lot of curling news and a lot of changes. And it is a lot of fun.
Already with a couple of teams that didn't make the Brier. It kind of started already, which is a little surprising because maybe some of the guys that they typically might want are still curling and they're not going to want to announce. But it's really going to be fascinating to see what does go on. I agree with you.
Potentially the greatest of all time, now done in Brad Gushu.
Yeah.
If Kevin Cooey's retired, there's a couple skips for teams. So how does that all play out? It's going to make it a lot of fun in the next couple of weeks.
Botcher, who is one of the best skips in the world, has been playing second with Brad Gushu.
Not even third.
Not even second for the last year and a half. And I mean, I have a little bit of insider information there, but it's not very much because he doesn't know what he wants to do, is what I'm being told. And I mean, to me, there's a pretty good team that could be started with, him and Carr curled together for over a decade.
They were Brier champs together.
So I would like to see that. But, Carr might even take some time off. He's
a younger guy, isn't he?
Yeah, he's 34 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's older than me. So he's got to be 36, 37.
Yeah, it could be.
Because he was a grade or two ahead of me in high school.
Was he? Yeah. He went to the same school as you?
Yeah. I curled once with him. I've mentioned this before. I was on the AOB curling team. They needed a fourth player for their team in league plays and all that. So I joined their team for whatever reason that day. We dominated. It wasn't even close.
Shocker.
It was like 12-2 or 12-1 or something.
Let's go Crusaders.
All because of me. All because of I just threw those late leads. I just was like trying to make sure don't get in the way. Like you let me know when you want me to sweep. You let me know when you don't. But dominated. Absolutely dominated.
Boy, Matty.
Well, I was texting you too. I was so excited after they won the 1-2 game. And I said, okay, well, I'll drag Carrick in here next Monday before they go to Worlds if they win. But now he didn't win. So, you know what? I texted him right after the game. Like, we're good buddies. Like, we talk all the time. I texted him right after the game and trying to tell him to keep his chin up and stuff like that. I haven't even heard back from him. So I feel like he's pretty heartbroken and justifiably so, right?
Yeah. Aesthetically, at the Brier, they need to get rid of these block letters on the.
I agree.
On the jackets and stuff, and the hat. Like it looks bad.
Like the hats are the dumb. I hate
terrible.
hats.
Isn't it like retro back to like the 60s, 70s?
Yeah, but they just look cheap and crappy.
Yeah,
they could do so much more. Really, I think the aesthetic of that is ill planned.
Yeah. To me, I wish for sponsors of the teams like myself, for them not to be able to have their sponsors in on the Brier is like
Yeah.
I know there is talks of that changing in the future, but the Brier sells all the advertising, so they want all their advertisers to get that stuff. But for those that do support the teams, to miss out on that opportunity, like. Could you imagine for me how happy I'd have been with them making it to the final? If had ranch on all their sleeves, that would have been a big boom for me with that type of exposure. But
monster audience, all that, right?
Yeah, for sure.
This is one from one of those Oilers aggregates. We're saying David Pagnotta. So
okay.
Per David Pagnotta, quote. Don't shoot the messenger.
Oh, boy.
But the Edmonton Oilers discussed the possibility of moving Darnell Nurse. I can't pinpoint how deep trade talks actually went, but there's a name to watch this summer. No move clause and all.
Yes. Dave called Belzy and I about all of this. And we'll see if they can make it happen.
This is something to watch for this summer. Just feel like I just got to throw that out there.
Yep.
Let people get excited about that. And
Yep. I know it would make a lot of people's day.
Yeah. I don't know how you make it work. The Oilers could discuss all they want.
Got to pull it off, though.
Does Darnell Nurse want that? Does Darnell Nurse want that? That's the big thing.
At a certain stage, you think Darnell Nurse say, I've had enough of this. And say, yes, I'll waive it. But I don't know.
But
That'd
then
be
it's
an interesting
also
trade.
can a team. Then you get to the next step, which is what team would want him.
Well, the Oilers are going to have to add, but what are they going to have to add? I mean, it's a big add to take him. Big add.
And then but then you got to find that team that Darnell Nurse is also okay with. And like there's a lot of different steps to this one.
Yeah,
But I'm just gonna throw that one out there.
Here's another NFL one. I was reading all along that Jalen Phillips was going back to Philadelphia, but no, last minute Carolina Panthers swing in there and sign Jalen Phillips, really good defensive end away from Philadelphia. So I like that as a Cowboys fan. Week in Philadelphia, yes, please.
Well, there's a few other things that have come out. Quarterback Malik Willis from the Packers is going to the Dolphins, so Belsey gets his quarterback.
He's going to Dolphins. I know the Cardinals were interested.
Michael Pittman is being traded to the Steelers from the Colts. The Ravens have signed offensive lineman John Simpson coming back to Baltimore. So there's been a few other things.
Wow. Hey, on the weekend, we talked about it a little bit beforehand. Your team throws out 2 firsts for Max Crosby.
It's a great Friday
Great
night.
pickup.
Wow.
I know there's the history. If you look at teams that have traded 2 picks for quote unquote superstars, has not worked out. I'm okay with this one.
I mean, that's the same return that Dallas got for Micah.
Yeah, and I think Max Crosby fits very nicely into the Ravens. And your hope is, you're giving up a first this year, but next year that it's number 32, which basically is a second-round pick.
Sure, if it is, but my goodness. But I mean, that's a good point.
It's historically, you trade back. The Ravens have been. It's been a while though. Now but they're an organization that isn't afraid to trade out of the first round into the second and third rounds.
Well, because you get more picks, so you get more depth. For sure,
Yeah, so you do that. They still have those picks. They could go make their moves. And it's like if you draft in these next 2 rounds, you'd hope that you can draft a player that's about 3/4 as good as Max Crosby. So yeah, I'm fine with. I was very happy with it. I'm excited about it. We'll see how it all plays out.
Yeah, should be. I mean, it's always so interesting these off seasons, whether it's NFL, NHL. It gets pretty wild.
Okay, really quickly, just as an aside, I retweeted this just now from TSN. The video is phenomenal. Red cards were issued to 23 players after a mass brawl broke out between Brazilian clubs Cruzeiro and Atlético Mineiro in the Campeonato Mineiro final. And like police are on the field. There's the huge brawl started with a goalkeeper getting run. And guys are like drop kicking each other. This is wild stuff. I reposted it. So if you want to get a little shot in the arm for your day, please check this out. Yeah, brawls all over the pitch. Cops on there.
Like how many people are fighting? Like everybody?
Everybody. Like both
It's
benches
like
cleared.
It's like a 40-person brawl.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep. Yeah, it's great.
That can get nasty. If some dirty things probably went on.
Yeah.
In there, people trying to really hurt people. Can you imagine, like you think back to the Piastani punch-up when they turned the lights off? Can you imagine what some of the characters that were on both of those teams, what they might have done to somebody when the lights were off and nobody's gonna oh boy.
Well, did you ever hear the Oil Kings? Was it the Bob Falkenberg incident with Derek Sanderson?
That's old school. Bob Falkenberg's a stellar boy.
Yeah. And like there's some video of it. It's black and white, obviously, and very grainy. But from what I understand, and Greg Pilling tells the story because I think Pill was part of it.
Oh, he's a big boy too. He would have done some damage.
He's a character, man. From what I understand, and correct me if I'm wrong, but after Falkenberg got cold cocked by Sanderson, right? I believe.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened is they kicked Sanderson out, and a bunch of the players who weren't playing from the Oil Kings went into the locker room, pulled Sanderson in, locked the door, and then beat the living crap out of him. So
that happened. I was at a hockey game in Stettler years ago, and there was a fight on the ice, and so the players went to their own dressing rooms after, and a couple of friends of the guy from the Stettler team that got in the fight went to the locker room, and the door was unlocked, and went in and pounded the crap out of the guy that was in the fight. I mean, holy.
That's not good.
That's not good stuff, no.
Over under Play Alberta. Download the app. Visit them. PlayAlberta.ca. Oilers play the Avs tomorrow. First and only meeting. I don't think there was another meeting. It was the 9-1.
Yeah.
Over under 4.5 goals. The Oilers are allowed tomorrow.
Over.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. Still going to be a high scoring game.
Yeah.
Murray. Stacked. What's the website again? Sorry, it's slipping my mind.
Steadyformen.ca.
Sorry, steadyformen.ca. Check it out and follow all of their socials.
I'm signed up.
Thanks for coming in again,
Yeah,
as
awesome,
always.
yeah.
Always appreciate it. Tommy, you've got Oil Stream coming up
Yes, sir.
in a little over an hour. Lock Shop coming up as well. We got EST Afternoons. We got the Reed Wilkins Show with J Mill all until 6 o'clock right here in Edmonton Sports Talk, your clear choice for Edmonton Sports, presented by Play Alberta. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Hangout, presented by Sentinel Storage. On behalf of Murray, Tommy, I'm Matt. Once again, thanks for tuning in to Lock Shop with Dusty and us. Coming up in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere.
Let's go. There you go, right in front of the camera.
First-time guest, long-time listener, fan of the original draft commissioner.
Welcome to the EST Hangout presented by White Claw Hard Seltzer. The difference is clear. Matt Iwanyk, Tom Zola with here. Joining us today,